England v Scotland. It was a big game that people were hyping up, and looking back at it, I'm probably not surprised that it ended the way it did. And a lot of the conversations that's happening over social at the minute, over Twitter, over Facebook, over whatever, all seems to be around the disappointment of that game and whether Harry Kane is actually good enough. He's not having the tournament of his life right now, but does that mean he should be dropped? We're going to look into that and a few other things, reflecting on the Scotland game and looking forward to the Czech Republic game up next. But before we get into it, I just want to give a big shout out to our sponsors over at Fanslide. It's an amazing app and you need to give it a go. It's fantasy football meets in play. It's an exciting twist on fantasy football and I'm loving playing it at the minute. So if you do want to download it, go down into the top link of the description, get the app and add me on there at Brummie Joe. For me, it just adds a whole nother layer of excitement to a football game and it's totally free to play, and when you've got cash prizes to win for free, why not give it a go? So once again, the link is down in the description. Make sure you get that and add me on it. But let's get into the video. So for me, my very first thought when I'm looking back to this Scotland game is the fact that we actually did start the game quite well. We had a really good first half, but Scotland had a game plan. They stuck to it. They were driven, and we've seen it many times, not just in international football, but in Championship football, in Premier League football. When you've got an underdog and they're determined, they're very, very hard to break down. You have to be very creative. And it leads me to think, yes, that's expected, and Scotland played incredibly well. Like, they really did. They worked their socks off. But first of all, when you've got the bench that we've got, when you've got the players available, like your Sanchos, like your Rashfords, why aren't we using them? Looking at it, we brought on Jack Grealish at 63 minutes, and we brought on Rashford at 74 for Harry Kane. But we've got 5 subs available, so why aren't we using them all? Why are we waiting this long to actually try and make an impact on the game? I think on one side you could say we're unlucky. If that Stones header goes in, the Harry Kane chance, the Mason Mount chance, I'm pretty sure there's more. We hit the post. We're Foden hit the post as well. Like, there was a lot of chances in the game, but what's starting to worry me when we're looking forward into the games against the bigger teams in this tournament is we need to take our chances. We really, really need to take our chances, and we're being punished by the fact that we're not. I do think we're lucky at the minute. We've got 4 points. We're pretty much through, but again, 1 goal in 2 games. It's the football we've learned to expect from England. I don't see us getting that far. When you're looking at us trying to win the group, the first game we're going to have is going to be against a group of death team. It could be France, it could be Germany, it could be Portugal, still any of those, and they are all very difficult teams to play against. Do you like looking at that? Let me know in the comments, guys. Looking at that, do you think if we win the group, right? We beat Czech Republic 1-0, say we win the group. Do you think we're good enough to beat France, Portugal, or Germany? Any of those? If so, which ones? Who would you want? Do we want to win the group? Do England want to win the group? Now, as a fan, you're probably thinking, yeah, listen, I'll take second place. I'll probably take second place to have a bit of an easier ride going forward. But it's probably not the mentality that we want to instill. We need to be taking our chances. We need to start being clinical. And for me, when you're looking at the whole do we drop Harry Kane argument, I think there's no way you can do that. I really don't. Like, one, you can't take out such an integral part of a team at this point. For me, he is undroppable currently. He is. Yes, he's not having the best time right now, but I think people have very, very short memories. And listen, if he's not having a good game and we take him off, fair enough. But I think he's got to start. I think he's got to start. I don't think there's any other way. Calvert-Lewin's a good player, but he's no Harry Kane. And you could argue that he wasn't getting the service required of him. He had one really big chance where he just couldn't quite reach the header and it went wide. But I think this game against the Czech Republic could be the game where he gets his goal, where he gets it and he needs it. And that's what I think personally, this is such an important game and why it's so important that Harry Kane plays in that and hopefully scores in that. If you drop him, I just think it's totally wrong right now. It's the wrong time to do it. So anyone that's calling that out, I respect your opinion, but I don't think it's something that England should be doing right now. I really don't. He's like, let's be honest, he's not had a good 2 games, but it's 2 games. Is he as good as he was in 2018? He said himself, I think, that he's not. But he's still Harry Kane. Another side of me makes me feel like we didn't want it as much. Whether that's to do with the players or the manager, I'm probably leaning more towards the manager. The fact that, you know, like I said, we only made 2 subs. We didn't really change anything. We didn't really make it that difficult for Scotland. And I think we took our foot off the gas a little bit. I think we were almost happy to settle for a point because it would take us all but going through to the knockouts. But I think the important thing for us, and I think the important thing about group games, is that you just simply have to find that way of playing. Like, you know, we had the 2 games in the warm-up to the Euros. We had a disjointed team. There were Man City and Chelsea players that weren't involved. We had players that weren't even going to the Euros playing in those games. And you could argue that our cohesion, I do think that we're not as cohesive over a long period of time, over the game. We've got a plan A, and that works. Our plan A works well, and yes, we could be more clinical. I think we need to be more clinical going forward. But where's the plan B? I don't think we've got one. I really don't. Yes, Southgate tried to change it. He tried to bring Rashford on. Didn't really do a lot. Grealish, again, he was put out wide. I think you take out Mount in that situation. You put Grealish in, you leave Kane on, and maybe you change the wingers, you inject a bit of pace there, you put Rashford out wide, you put Sancho out wide. We've got good players on the bench, we've got a great squad, let's utilise it. And I think, although there's a lot of people that are saying, yeah, let's try and draw or lose, whatever, let's try and draw against Czech Republic, so we finish second, so we get an easier, whatever, fixture. I don't want us to do that, because I think we need to start playing football, we need to start playing 90 minutes of football, not 45. Really, and we need to learn to finish our chances. We need to get that winning mentality. And if we do face France in the next round, then so be it. But we need to face any team we come up against, the best England we can be. Now, I know I'm the same. A lot of people are as well. Before a Euros, before any international tournament, you're like, yes, it's coming home. We're amazing. The truth is we're not. We're not at the stage where Belgium, where Germany, where France are. We're not. You know, when you look at the odds, we're almost favourites, but we're not anywhere near there. We have to learn to take our chances. We've got to be clinical, and we've got to keep our heads in it. So, Czech Republic, we've got to go for it, I think. Let me know down in the comments what you think. What do we need to do? Do you want us to win that game, or do you think, yeah, let's draw it. Let's have a similar game to the Scotland one. We'll both settle for a point, and happy days. We'll take the second place. We'll play an easier game in around the 16. But then what? Then you go into the quarters and you're up against a big team anyway. So for me, you've got to want to win those games. I'm frustrated with what I saw from the Scotland game. I think you saw it in both games. You saw it in the Croatia game. You saw it in the Scotland game. We're not taking our chances, and it's slightly worrying because it's not 1 or 2. It's plenty. We've scored 1 goal over our 2 games. We need to be doing a bit more. We need to be doing a bit more. If we want to be taken seriously in this tournament and we want to have a good run, we need to actually start playing good football. It's difficult because we haven't faced any of those big teams. Yeah, that's it from me anyway. That's my Scotland match reaction. And I think my key takeaways are, let's not drop Harry Kane. Let's use our substitutes a bit more wisely. Let's use the players that we've got available to us, the squad we've got available, because it's a good one. It's a very good one. And let's finish our chances. We need to finish our chances. So that's it from me. I'm hoping I'm feeling a lot more positive after this Czech Republic game and we iron out these creases, because that's what the group stages are for. That's what they're for. But guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. What do we do against the Czech Republic? Who do we start? Do we keep Harry Kane in? Do we want to win the game? Do we want to draw the game? Let me know. And how far do you think England are going to go in this tournament? I hope you've enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit that like button if you did. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you in the next one. Come on, England. Come on, England.